Is there a field goal that Graham Gano cannot make?
Yeah, what can you say about Graham, right? Anytime we ask him to come through, he does. So I've been on the other side of it before, but it's more often than not he's come through for us.
Is he any different than he was in Carolina? Like, has he changed anything?
I think the 2 years I had him in Carolina, I think the second year is when I think it just clicked for him. Like, I think that's when he figured it out. The 15 year, he made a lot of game-winning kicks for them during their Super Bowl stretch. And then the next year, he was starting to figure it out. And then right at the end of the year, we played Tampa, and it was a windy stadium. He kind of struggled a little bit that day. But that next year is when he went to the Pro Bowl, and he's taken off since then.
What's his range on a non-windy day? What's his max, do you think?
65, I think. 64, 65, something like that. I mean, we've seen him hit 63 in a game, so, I mean, it's, so we've all seen that one. But, no, he has a strong leg, obviously.
Do you have like a Panthers 2-yard bonus for him when he knows he's going to see the Panthers and gets a couple extra yards out of it?
But, that's this league. These guys are prideful, Anytime they get a chance to go against their old team, you can sit up there and lie and say, "Oh, it doesn't make a difference." Yeah, it does. If you leave the way he left, I mean, that's just the reality of it. So that's coaches, that's players. Like, anytime you get a chance to go stick it to your own team, that's what they do. That's this league. It's competitive.
What does it do for your room? 2 weeks, 2 turnovers. What does that create in your room?
Momentum. Guys are, once you start, I always tell them big plays, once they start, they come in droves, and we got to just continue to keep working as a group to get better, regardless of what happens, we just got to keep working to get better. If it's trying to get another turnover, we're always working to get those, and we're trying to do the right things, and, hopefully we can continue to get them.
You ever see anything like that with a guy in the first play of his career?
It's crazy.
Get something like that for you?
Yeah, that's a new one for me. You step on the field in the first play, you get a fumble recovery. That's new for me. So I'm happy for Dane. He's a hardworking kid. He's smart, and he's had a lot of good football in front of him.
Was that play about as perfect as you could have? Just the way you must coach, the way everyone kind of seemed did their job. Like Cam blew up one guy, Micah got a piece of him.
It was well played. It kind of ended up in a solid result. We always talk about biting the ball and running through contact, accelerating your feet on contact with our tackling, getting our eyes up, chest up, running through, and it was a textbook tackle, knocked the ball out. It was a great play by Carter.
Do you take pride when guys who you pretty much have, a guy like Brightwell, Richie James now this year, who are pretty much, exclusively with you, and now they're asked to do things on offense? And, Brightwell touched the ball once, Richie James leading their team in receiving, which I don't know if you anticipated that, they're kind of your guys, and then you're having success somewhere else.
Right. I mean, that's part of it. I always tell the guys, because this is our special teams room, so I always tell them, our job is to help you graduate. You come in here, you make plays as a young player, and then your job is to graduate to go play offense and defense. And then we repeat the process with younger players. And then some guys just become special teams players. That's their role, and that's what they do. But we want them to make as much money as they can possibly make as many plays they can possibly make, and play as much football as they can possibly play, whether it be on special teams and defense or offense.
The guy who's been here for a while, how would you speak to just the fact that you're answering questions after a couple of wins, that your players are in the locker room answering questions, some of them hard, but after victories? It just feels like a long time since that's been the climate.
Yeah, Kim, it has been. It's been a long time. So it's fun, though. It's fun to be able to talk about our team in a positive way. People are not asking questions, condescending questions, kind of jabbing you a little bit as opposed to still doing their jobs. But it's really fun. But we got a lot of football left. But it's definitely been a whole lot better than what it's been.
When Jamie hits that punt 80 yards in the air for a touchback, is that a good punt, or how do you view that?
Yeah, in the situation, that was because of where the guy was playing him, you know, the ball goes over his head and into the end zone. I mean, I guess you'll take, you know, 67 yards and 47 yards a net. You know, you'll take it in that situation, but ideally, that's not what we want to do. But, you know, Jamie's working to get better. He has a live leg, and, you know, we just got to, again, that process of getting better, we use the word Kaizen in our room. It's the act of continuous improvement, and that's something we're always working towards.
You had 3 long snappers in for a workout this week. Is that any reflection on Casey? Or is that
No, it's just, you know, that's part of it. Eventually, we're going to have 3 kickers in. Eventually, we're going to have, you know, it's just part of the process and personnel. They're always bringing guys in, just kicking the tires on guys, making sure, you know, if something happens, we got a short list of guys and they can come right in and we can work with them.
Because Jamie has such a strong leg, do you almost have to analyze each kick differently? The idea of, you know, if you wanted a kick, if you wanted him to put it a certain spot, and it wasn't necessarily out of desire for him, but if he hits something the wrong way with his leg, I mean, he's that strong where he may out-kick it 10 to 20 yards just based on his strength.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's something that we're working on. You know, it's always, it's a control thing. It's like, you know, it's like being able to, you know, hit a 9-iron, you know your full 9 is 155, but depending on the wind, depending on direction, you know, just rain, all the conditions, like you got to be able to control it. And that's the thing that he has to get better at, is just working on controlling.